everybody, it's Diana with Stamping with Di. Welcome to my YouTube channel and this week's Teach Me Tuesdays, episode 233. And I have a fun project to share with you today. I was thinking about it last week when I was doing the sophisticated sled. So I made myself a little note and today I'm going to share that with you. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. My name, excuse me. I'm Diana, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm in Santan Valley, Arizona. So I'm getting over a cold, so I'm a little stuffed up. So I apologize about that. Also, the other day when I was doing, yesterday when I did the ghost card, remember at the end I was like, oh, I felt like there was something I forgot to do, and there was. So I will show what I forgot when I turn the camera. So if you are watching the premiere when it goes live, I'm in the chat room. So make sure you head on over there. We can chitter-chatter with each other and everybody else. If you have questions, you can ask there. If you're watching the replay, then leave a comment below and YouTube will let me know and I can reach out to you. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to like looking around. I think so. Also, don't forget to use your coupons. If you earned some bonus days coupons last month, you have to spend them in August, so don't forget about that. Don't forget about the DSP sale, and don't forget my virtual fall social registration is open. I think that's all I have to go over right off the top of my head. So anyways, I apologize, Winston. He's being a little needy. Alright, so close your eyes for a second while I get my camera adjusted. Yesterday I showed these cute cards, and this is what I forgot to do. If you could see the difference between these two, I forgot that after I got them colored, I took my light gray granite Stampin' Blends and you could do this first too. I put some shadow around, and this just makes them pop off the page. I might have to go close the door if he's going to keep that up. And this just makes them pop off the page. Since they are stamped directly on the paper, this just kind of makes them look like you cut them out. So it definitely adds some dimension to them. Like I said, I totally forgot till I was going to put these away, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's what I forgot to do. And let's put a little ground underneath our pumpkins. So yeah, it just gives a little dimension to them. What do you think? Okay, so let's get to today. Okay, today we're going to use a sophisticated sled bundle. And I used this last week, I believe. All right. So what I did do was I did die cut out stuff ahead of time, just to save some time, because it's going to take a little bit of time on this project. All right. So let me get all my little pieces here. All right. So I did the skate, and I did it with Memento because I'm going to add a little bit of color to it with the blends. Alright, so I have my light gray granite, and I'm going to do some gluing, so that's why I have my silicone mat, so that I can catch any of that wayward glue. So this is just light gray granite, and then I'm going to put a little dark gray granite. Okay, Now what I want to do is I did another skate because I want to make these thicker. So I did another skate and I didn't bother stamping on it because this is just going to get glued right on top of it. So I'm just going to put my green tip glue on my skate. And it's fun gluing these on top of each other because they're identical, right? So they just kind of know where to lay. So it's just, you know, so easy to do. Okay, so now I've got 2 skates glued together. All right, now I want to do the same thing with, I've got some leaves. So I have lemon lime twist, and then I have 2 that are granny apple. So I'm going to take I kind of want to bunch them so they've got a little bit of color going on. Okay, so I'm going to put my granny apple, and I'm going to glue it, but not perfectly. And we can always add more if we want. And then I'm going to put a little bit on my lemon lolly. Because I want these to look more like free, kind of, than the rest of my things. So these are just kind of wispy leaves. Okay, and like I said, I can add more glue if I need to, but I'm just kind of getting that, you know, situated. All right, then we have these little like steer things. And so the same thing, I'm just going to put my green tip glue. So my fingers are going to be a mess by the time I get this done. But that's okay. All right, and then I get a little bit more. So I'm not making it too oozy because it's just cardstock. So I'm doing 3 layers. So there's 3 layers there. And then I have to make sure I have all my pieces out of all my toboggan pieces. It's easy to forget them. I think I've got them all. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to glue these guys together. Oop, I forgot this little nail hole. Okay, so I'm going to glue these together. Now this die has this wood grain, right? And it goes all the way through, so the glue will kind of seep through those holes a little bit. So you will kind of see it come through a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, so I've got 2, and I'm going to do 3 again, just like I did with the holly or whatever that is. So we'll do 2, and then I'll do that 3rd one. So this is the time of year to be making Christmas gifts, and I thought this would be a super fun little gift to make, and you can give it alone, you could put it on a present. It's totally up to you. Okay, so there's those. So I'm just going to set all of these kind of over here while I'm gluing. I'm just going to put that on top just to give it a little bit of heft. I only have 2 on here, so I'm not too worried about that one. All right, and then I have 3 of the I guess this is kind of the sled base. So I'm just putting as skinny a drops as I can. It's kind of thin. Now, you can use the adhesive sheets, but I have found like sometimes if things are too skinny, and this is pretty skinny, they don't work as well because they almost bend a little bit, because when they go through the die, this die, just like when you cut cardstock, it gives an edge, right? And then sometimes that it leaves it's got an edge to it. Like if you look at it, there's like a beveled edge. And then sometimes the adhesive sheet gets up into there, so it doesn't really glue as well if something's really, really skinny like this, I have found. So I find it just as easy to use the green tip glue, because it kind of wiggles and finds its way into all the nooks and crannies. So, and your silicone sheet is your best friend when you're doing this. Alright, so I'm just going to lay this on like that. And we'll do the same thing. We'll just put this on top of it so it can kind of glue. I'm going to bring them all over here while I work on other things. Okay, let's see here. Plop that on there while I bring my skates over. Now, so I did the gray granite, light and dark, on my my blades, but I want my skate, I want it to be like a white skate or like a blush kind of skate. So I'm going to use the tone, and it's like 1,000, so it's really, really light, and it's kind of like a really light, like peach kind of color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to go around the edge, and this is just going to kind of give my skate a little bit of color. I don't want to color it as crazy as I did the other day. I loved how that one turned out when I did the polka dots, but I want this one to be a little more like antique kind of looking. Alright, so there I've got, and it's really hard to see. Let's see if this will pick it up. If I get close. See, you can see where I just put that little bit, but I want to make it not to have this stark, that stark look. So I'm just going to take my color lifter, and I'm just going to draw a line and soften where that line is, so that it just kind of makes the mind think that I colored that whole skate in with that pink. And it takes a little bit for that color lifter to react. But so see how it's just kind of softened it. It has a little bit on the edge, but then it just makes it make you think, oh, that whole skate is, you know, that really, really soft pink color. But it's just softer that way. Alright, so let's set that aside. Okay, so let's just hope that these guys are dry. Alright, so let's bring over a grid sheet and our little pieces. Okay. So I want to do a little bit of blending brush on these, just to kind of emphasize, you know, how much fun texture they've got. So I have my crumb cake, and I've got my blending brush. So I'm just going to make a little come off here, and then I'm just going to put a little bit on my edge. And what that does is it emphasizes, like you can really see the wood grain now. So I'm going to do the same thing here. And since they're thicker, they're not as delicate. They're still a little delicate. I mean, you know, don't be too rough on them. but by adding those layers, it's just thicken them up a little bit. But see how cool that looks? Because you can really see that wood grain now. Okay. I'm also going to put a little bit on my pool party of the crumb cake, because you know me, if you add browns to red, that just makes it like a little darker red. So now I've got some of that on there. Now let's get my granny apple. Now I want to be careful with my granny apple because see how I jumbled, I glued them jumbly or whatever, if that's even a word. So they're going to be a little delicate because of that. So I'm just going to be really careful and just kind of dab it a little bit. Because I don't want to be, and I don't mind if they bend a little bit because I am going to maneuver them a little when I glue them. Okay, okie dokie. Look at all that. Alright, let's see. Let's do my fingers real quick so I don't get any of that where I don't want to. Because now we're going to put this together. And what I'm going to end up making is an ornament. But you can, like I said, you can put it on a card, you can put on it a present, you could do anything with it, but I'm going to have it be an ornament. So we have our base, and then we're just going to glue this to this. So I'm just going to use green tip glue for all of it. So just putting it along the edges and up. And then just lay that on there like that. Then that will be my friend for a while. Let's see. While that's drying, I want to stamp a little greeting to go on here while that's gluing. I'm going to glue my little toe kick, or whatever it's called. I don't even know what it's called. Alright, so it's going to go on there, a little down there. No, I'm going to put the skates. If I was just going to make a sled by itself without the skates, I would totally put twine through there so that the sled had a string on it. But I'm going to put, you know, the leaves and stuff like that, and the skates. So I'm not gonna put it on there. But all right. So we're gonna fiddle fart with that in a minute. But I want this to dry really good. Okay. So I want my memento, and I'm just gonna stamp "Let It Snow." Okay. And then we'll put that on our ornament. Let's see, that's probably good and dry. Now, if it was just me doing this by myself, I would be a little slower in between gluing these, but I don't want you to have to be here all day. All right, so I'm going to take this leaf, and I want to manipulate it a little bit, because I hate that it hides my wood. So I'm going to cut some of this. So I did this one a little bit different than my other one. So I'm going to cut some of that. And I'll show you the other one too, and then you can decide. Because the other one, I glued these like together. I didn't separate them like this. so I was able to see my little wood thing better. That kick thing or whatever we're gonna call it. Okay. So I'm just gonna make this one be different. Okay. So we're gonna glue this onto here. And we're just going to bring these up a little bit. Okay. Then I want to put my skates on with dimensionals. Oops. My dimensionals here. Because this just might be a little bit too wild. Because that will teach me from going off script when I do the video. But I'm still playing around. All right, so let's put our skates on. Because we're going to play around with this once we get it all the way done and make it even more amazing. Alright, so we have Let It Snow. Let It Snow. And that's going to go on there. So we have so much fun stuff in the catalog to really kick your cards up a notch, your scrapbook pages, your home decor, your ornaments. Alright, so this is just a little Let It Snow. So I'm just going to put that on there like that. Okay, so let's play with a few more fun things that we have in the catalog. Alright, so we also have fine tip glue, and this I showed you this the other day. I just put it into the little container. Alright, so we have fine tip glue. We have pearlized enamel effects. I'm going to use that. And we have the shimmery white embossing paste, so I'm going to use that as well. And I want to get my string on there, so I'm not messing with it once I get all this fun stuff added. Alright, so I'm just going to take this, loop it through my little ornament. Like that. And you can leave it like this, you can tie it in a knot, it's really up to you. You could put a little knot kind of close, just to kind of keep it like on there, and then we can tie one higher up. And this way, if you decide to put on a tree or a present or whatever, you've got like a little bit, but this just kind of keeps it on there. But alright, so we have our little tag on there. So let's play with these other little things before we leave it alone. Alright, so we have our pearlized enamel effects basic red. And these, I'm just going to put some little tiny dots on my my leaves. So it looks like there's some berries on there. So I'm just going to kind of squeeze this out and get it started. And then I'm just going to make little tiny circles. Just so we have these little berries. And this is going to be just a little bit lighter than if I used like a bling. Let me just knock that down a little bit. If I use bling, this is going to be a little bit lighter. So we've just got some little berries on there. Okay. Then our fine tip glue. So I'm going to take my fine tip glue and we're going to make our skate blades shiny. So we're just putting that fine tip glue on there. And I'm also going to put a little bit on the skate, just so that the skate has a little shine as well. We don't have to color the whole skate in, just adding that little bit is fine. So let me lift that up before we get to the last. So you can see the little berries. And see, now you've got that shiny shine on the skate and the blade. All right. Now this is so much fun doing this. Now what I do with my, here we go. Hang on a minute. So I want to bring this back to do my silicone. All right. So this is the shimmery white embossing paste. All right. So here it is. Same container. That's just a different color sticker. All right. So what I do, the bag that it came out of, like it comes in a bag, it should, but maybe it doesn't anymore, I don't know, but when it came in a bag, so I kept the bag, and I just put it on top of there, so it kind of gives it an extra secure closure. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a stir, and you can see all that shiny paste. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as snow. So I'm just going to come over and I'm just going to kind of tap it around. Put a little bit on my sled. A little on my leaves. A little on my Let It Snow writing. So it looks like our toboggan or our sled has been out in the snow, and it looks super cute. We could even put a little bit on our string maybe, but isn't that cute? And you can just tap it on there, put a little bit on the skate, but the thing is you want to wipe it off that palette knife or it will dry on there, because this stuff gets almost like cement. Alright, and then what I do is I put that bag right over top of this, and then I put my lid on, and then really close it, right? Because you don't want any air getting into it. But look how cute the little ornament is. Don't you think that is adorable? So let me know what you think. Here's the one I did earlier, so you can see the difference. Let me get this grid sheet out of there. Alright, so here's the one I just did, and then here's the one I did earlier. So this one, I glued these together so I could see the wood more. So this one I made this be a little bit more like a whole bunch of leaves. So just to, you know, if you decide like you want to make one of these or whatever, you might go, oh, I'm going to glue them together. Or I kind of liked, you know, the whole busy, you know, full leaves there. Once it's dry, I think I still might try to move, like this one I just bent those leaves behind the wood once it was all the way dry so I could see that wood. And I think I still could here and there, or I could even trim a little bit like I did. But I just love how that turned out. I just love that little bit of snow on there. It is so, so fun. Alright, so let me say, see you later, alligator. So I love doing fun things. I love doing home decor and 3D things. But when I did the sled the other day, I was like, oh, that would be so fun to make an ornament with that. So that was our fun for today. All right. So I'm going to say, see you later, alligator. If you have any questions, make sure you let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you Friday for my Dies Shorts. That'll be 3 o'clock, Arizona time, same channel. Thanks so much, everyone, and I'll see you Friday. Bye for now.